Alright guys, so it's going to start off with a floor plan. We're going to go ahead and make an enlarged view. Floor plans are just based off the level. Um, for Etiwanda High School, this would be 15-foot 4 for the second floor plan. First floor is at 0, 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an enlarged view. We're going to go up to view. We're going to do call out, rectangle, and we're going to be focusing on this shaft for today's lesson. You create the enlarged view, and then now you can right click and go to that view. So we're going to mess around with a little bit of visibility graphics today, change how things look, get it looking good enough to put onto a PDF that you can use for whatever you need to in the field. So what we're going to do now is, first of all, we'll go ahead and color up our duct blue, which is typical. We're going to create a filter, add a new rule right here, new, call this HVAC duct, and then you're going to go into your filter list, go down to duct, we'll do duct accessories, fittings, insulation, all the way down to just ducts themselves. And what I did there was just add the rule. So anyways, go to your pattern, we're going to color it blue, and then we're going to solid fill so that it's just a solid blue for duct. Now you notice that our duct is colored blue. So also we're going to want to change this to a fine detail view so you can tell what type of walls are what. This is a CMU wall, these are stud frame walls, and then if you notice these lines are telling us, the cross pattern is telling us whether or not it's a supply duct or a return air duct. We're going to go ahead and turn those off because it won't allow you, I can show you, it won't allow you to dimension to the edge of the duct. Those cause you to only be able to dimension to the center of the duct. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn those off. You're going to go into visibility graphics, which is right over here. Come up into visibility graphics, edit, and you're going to press D. It'll bring you down to the first D, and you can choose duct, expand duct. You'll turn off drop and rise, hit OK, and you'll notice that our X and slash have gone away. This will now allow us to dimension from the inside face of wall to the edge of duct. So what we're going to do is we're going to do all edges of the duct to all inside faces of the wall. When you're dimensioning, you can go ahead and change where your dimension automatically chooses first to dimension from. So right now we'll do faces of core. Basically that's just the face of the wall. The core is basically just the inside of the wall. Now if you had a finished face, it would dimension to the inside of the wall, not the finished face. So we'll dimension to edge of duct on both sides, next edge of duct, and the wall. And what we'll do is we'll grab these dimensions and spread them out so we can read them easily. Good enough. This one, since I already put it here, I can go ahead and hit edit witness line. It'll just allow us to place another location to dimension to. So what we'll do is we'll hit tab to grab the edge of the duct, and then we'll also grab the edge of the wall. It should be 0 because I believe it's lying right on the wall. But what we'll do is bring that out. And right now our tolerance for these dimensions is 3/32. If we wanted to change that, you could go in here if there's already made types. Otherwise, you go into edit type, and you can change the rounding for your dimension. You would just go into your units format and then you would change this stuff. We can save that for a later date, but I'll just show you where to change that at if you needed to. So now that we have this, we can see we're lying right on this wall, but since I know this project, I know that below this there's actually wall fur out that's 2 inches, and these ducts are into it on the first floor. This is actually above. It's going from the first floor overhead up to second floor, so this is a shaft from first floor overhead to second floor. So what we'll do is we'll change our view range. We'll go in and go, this is the bottom cut of our view right now that we're looking at. We'll put that at -1. This will allow us to see that wall fur out so that we can see that the duct is into the wall fur out. And if you notice, actually, let me see, -1. So now it's not showing up. Oh, my mistake. So instead of shaded mode down here or hidden line, you want to be wireframe so that it'll show elements that are through the floor. So you'll go, yours is probably default hidden line. You go down here, you'll change it to wireframe, and then your wall fur out will show. And we can also dimension that as well, just from the edge of CMU wall to the edge of that wall, show that that's 2 inches. Kind of want to keep this somewhat clean. So we have dimensions to all of our duct. I have an annotation cut on that. Bring that up there. So you can see our duct is within the wall fur out. Now the HVAC contractor has noted that they want 1.5 inches clear. So not only do we want to be outside of this wall fur out, we also want to have another 1.5 inches on top of that. So this duct, we want to move it from its current location to a total of 3.5 inches away from this wall, so that we have that 1.5 inches clear, and we also have the and we're also out of the wall fur out. So what we'll do, if we want to check that, we're going to come out 3.5 inches. So you'll do a detail line, which actually you'll go to up here. So you go to annotate, you'll hit detail line. This will allow you to draw a line. What we'll do is we'll draw a straight line, and you can type 0 space 3 and 1/2, put a 3.5 inch line, and we'll draw straight across, just so we have that point of reference. And then also, this duct is a 1 4 inch wide duct. So what we'll do is we will take this line and copy it. The copy command is up here. You'll select a point to copy from, so we'll select here, and we'll go straight down again. We'll go 1 space 4. We'll put it 1 foot 4 away. And now you can see this is where your edge of duct will be once we move this, that 3.5 inches out. So then you can check if you have your clear on your other side, and we do have the clear. We have 4.5 inches on that side, so they could even shift more if they needed to. So also, if we want to take a look at a section view, just to check even further if everything's clear, or maybe get a better understanding, we'll go ahead, and this button up here allows you to create a new section. So what we'll do is we'll cut a section through the shaft, and we'll shrink down how far we're looking, and we'll focus on only this duct. And you can right click and go to that view, and you'll notice nothing is colored how you had it. Looks kind of convoluted with how much information is on it. So what we'll do, what I did is just window tiled. It's WT. You can look at all your views when you window tile. So what we're going to do from this view is we're going to create a view template, just so you can apply whatever settings you changed in this view, you can apply it to your sections so they look similar. So we'll go up to View, View Templates, create a template from current view. We'll name this, HVAC shaft coordination. Hit OK. And you'll notice it created a view template. And we can just leave that for this one over here since we're not going to change anything. And then in our section view, you can excuse me, you can go into the view template settings over for this view and change it to all for your view type filter. Since this isn't a enlarged view, it won't show up the same, but you can still use the filter if you change this to all, so it shows all view types. And then you'll go in and choose our HVAC shaft coordination view template. That will now apply our colors. You'll notice that the duct isn't blue. That's because our section is cutting through the duct. So what we'll do is we'll actually just pull this back. It'll turn blue. And if you'll notice, we have extra levels in here. So we want to turn those off because it kind of makes things hard to read. So what we'll do is actually go into the view template settings. Once again, hit all, go down to HVAC shaft coordination, go into model. What we'll do is actually go into the link that we have in here. The link is the mechanical and plumbing. We're going to change this to custom. We're going to go to model categories, and we're also going to go to custom, and then we're going to go down to sorry, that's in annotation categories. We're going to change to custom. We're going to go down to level. Hit spacebar will uncheck it, otherwise you can just click it. Turn that off and hit OK. Now these will clear some of these up. And then this stage floor, what we'll do with this one, we can actually just hit EH. It'll hide it permanently. Not typically what you want to do for an actual element, but for this exercise we can permanently hide those. The way to unhide those would be to go to your reveal hidden elements, and then you can click and unhide it. But for now, just to keep things simple, we're just going to hide them permanently. We'll go in here. We can dimension this up too, just to kind of see the same situation. Forgot that I didn't show you guys where to get your dimension at. The command is DI, but dimension is in annotate, align dimension, and you go from stud wall to the duct, and then to the CMU wall. You can pull that out. Obviously getting the same information. Then we can check from CMU wall. You hit tab to get different elements, so I tabbed until I got the edge of the CMU wall, and now I'm going to select the fur out wall, and we're going to pull this out. And if you want to make a note that that's a fur out wall, you can double click the dimension, go to suffix, and you can type whatever you'd like to note. So for this one we'll do f.o.wall for fur out wall. Hit OK. It'll make that note. You can drag this out so it's a little bit more clear. And then we will go ahead and put these views on a sheet so that you can print them to a PDF. So what we'll do is we'll create a new sheet. And for this exercise, we'll just use none. We'll just use a blank view and print it to a full-size sheet. So now that our sheet is created, we'll go over into our project browser over here, expand views, and we were using a coordination view, floor plan. We were using this callout, which is our enlarged view. So we'll drag that onto our sheet, zoom in a bit, and then we'll expand sections because we also created a section, and we will place that in here as well. Basically you just click and drag into the sheet view and it'll put the view in there. And then what we'll do is make sure these are the same scale, which they are. They're both 1/4 inch a foot, which is fine. And we'll go ahead and put a title on these. You'll go up to the top in your properties dialog. We'll change this to, in this project there's a default title, that's what we'll use. Otherwise, if there wasn't one, you'd have to create one, but we won't go into that. So default title, and you can select it and move it around. You can also select the view to shorten this line, kind of clean it up quick. Same thing for this one. Select it, move it down. You'll notice it snaps to the other one to keep things clean. So now we have both of those with the title. You could name these if you wanted to, by going into the actual view name here. You could call it, whatever you want to. Enlarged View, Enlarged Shaft View, and it'll change the name. So same thing for this one. If you wanted to name that differently, you would just go into the view name right here, and we could call that the shaft section. And now we can go ahead and print these out. We'll go up to the big R at the top, hit print, and we'll print this to a PDF, Bluebeam PDF. Go to setup. We'll just change this to full size for now, so it's 30 by 42. The rest of the settings you can keep the same. Usually, if we're being really precise and keeping the scale, you'll want to make sure that it doesn't fit to page. You would want to do zoom and keep it 100% size, keep it the same, but for now this exercise we'll just do fit to page. And we'll go ahead and hit OK. I think I already saved this in a certain location. Oh yeah, I did. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and save over the top of this. Hit OK, yes. I have it open. So we'll print this out. It'll allow us to name it, put it wherever we would like to. Bluebeam dialog opens. You can go to your desktop, name this shaft coordination. And then go ahead and hit save. It'll print it out. And then you'll notice that you have a PDF with all your information on it.